Among your clients, let's just talk about the people you're most familiar with, like Thomas, for example. He has, like all contemporary composers, diversified. He does some television, he does some independent cinema. I don't know if he's done a video game yet, but he probably will.
No, he demoed for a couple, but
right?
he didn't.
He probably also has, I don't know, does he produce?
He has opera, ballet,
Right.
some ice shows because they're pretty popular in Scandinavia.
Right.
For children musical theater and ice shows. He does. He's a Sibelius Academy graduate
Right,
25 years ago, so he's so versatile and very talented. He's doing everything. Yes.
Is it necessary, if you're advising a young composer, any of our students, for example, who might one day be clients of yours, is it really necessary these days for that sort of diversification to happen in order, if you really expect to make a living from your
No,
music?
you don't have to be a jack of all trades, really. So what I would advise them, really, is what they do well, to do it consistently well. And you don't have to do all types of music, as they say. I can do every genre of music, and I tell them that's a bit of a silly thing to say, because by now, because of technology, we do expect you to be capable of doing every kind of music. And after all, storytelling, even if it is a 2-minute commercial, sometimes it might need you to do 20 seconds of Baroque music and suddenly 20 seconds of heavy metal, and then you go to full trailer style, epic stuff. So they are expecting you to be capable of everything. But because you asked me what is the advice for the young composers, and because we talked about the examples of the recent past, like Johansson and Green Mansell, Hauska, whatever, most of them, they were doing, and I mentioned that to the students many times, they were doing concert music on the side. They got maybe discovered because of their albums. They were not discovered because they did that small film somewhere. They would be discovered because they did a small film only if the film gets many awards in many festivals. But most of them got discovered because they were consistently producing great music
That's
as albums.
That's a tidal shift in the industry, that these composers are getting work based on their career as performers, and often as quite idiosyncratic performers.
Yes.
Mika Levy, the really good example of that. That is a change, and I do think composers now, even though they tend to be among the shyest people on the planet, do need to get out there and perform in some fashion.
If not perform, at least what I encourage them is, instead of investing your creative time, you are looking up yourself in the studio and you say, I will make some trailer music now just to have it on my library, and then I'll make some whatever other epic stuff, or then some solo piano stuff. And just focus into taking one very good track you're proud of, make 5, 6 more of them. Make an album, release an album. I did that with a client, he's Greek, and he did a test, he called it a vocal test, with his voice and some pads and strings behind. It was so beautiful, so lyrical what he did. I said, make 5, 6, 7 more of these and make an album. And he did it. And the good thing of that is that, do you make money? No. Do you make too many fans or publicity for you? A bit, maybe, but it's content out there and will remain out there. It will remain on your YouTube channel and on your Spotify page. And people will discover it 20 years from now, the thing you created in 2012, for example.
You mentioned
and if it's good music,
yeah,
some filmmaker that graduates in 10 years from now, they will find and say, I want this.
Right. You mentioned that it was important for young composers not to pass themselves off as a jack of all trades, as somebody who can do all genres equally well. In fact, the generalist that used to characterize most film composers, you mentioned Alan Silvestri.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful guy, wonderful composer, whose claim to his status in the industry was the fact that he could do pretty much anything you asked him to do. I think now it's shifted to where you don't want to say I can do every style, but you do want to say I can operate in every medium.
Yes.
Okay? I'll do my thing, but I'll do it in television, I'll do it in video games, I'll do it in possibly in opera or ballet, in concert pieces, but it will always be recognizably me,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, totally. That's the idea. And the key behind it, to get work and continue getting work is to what I said before about consistent quality, no matter what project you are doing. Yes, many composers end up being imprisoned in a certain loop, like once you are, for example, a German composer doing a crime TV series, you might end up only doing a crime TV series in your country. That prohibits you of doing other stuff outside of your country. No, it's only a matter of time you have available to meet people and pitch yourself for other more interesting stuff. But I'm also saying to the students, it's not bad if you are locked into that, because at least you are making a living that others don't. And if you have time, definitely experiment to find other projects that they are
Right.
not crime TV series and fulfill you more as an artist too.
Yeah.